All right, we are live. If you want to take us into the school community. Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. If you don't know who we are, my name is Nina Brennan, and I'm joined by my co-founder, Jonathan Floransky. And we are the co-founders of Scaling Lean. And every day, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we go live just sharing the ins and outs of what we're seeing in the online space, specifically for coaching, community, course creation, etc. How we were able to scale our business to seven figures and how we're helping others do the same, whether it's six figures or seven figures, whatever they want. This past week, we had our live event down in Scottsdale, Arizona. It was really awesome to have clients come in from around the country and just meet local individuals looking to also grow and scale their business. So, with that being said, I'm going to pass the mic over to you and we can dive right in.
Absolutely. Welcome to the RevUp Daily. Super excited to kick off a new week. We did not go live Thursday, Friday, because as Nina mentioned there, we were at the live event, or Friday, Saturday, I should say. So yeah, Nina, awesome event. It was great meeting the clients. We had like this amazing, crazy experience on Saturday morning where Rena, one of our revenue lab clients, our one-to-one clients, she brought in some crepes for us. So shout out to you, Rena, if you're watching this. That was absolutely amazing. We just wanted to share that quick win, show some gratitude, pop into the new week. So yeah, Nina, let's give a highlight. I mean, it's going to be kind of hard. We covered so much, and there's so much amazing footage from Eric and Brian Bogert, and Danny. There's so much great information. So yeah, let's hop in.
Yeah, just as an overarching view of what we covered and the live topics that we talked about was a lot of about the AI sales system that we've developed, all the way from our AI feedback processor that gets us really clear on the messaging of our business through the marketing and sales process, how to automate the workflows. That's what Brian spoke about. Danny came in and shared a lot of just great ideas around content and how to create content to really move people to gain attention and start building your brand. Eric came in and talked about storytelling and how to really bring your brand message to life through storytelling and how to get people to relate. You talked about the ascension model that we have here at Scaling Lean that has been crushing over 2024 and 2025. And then just a little bit about sales. And if you are in the one-on-one landscape of sales, like how to actually talk to people and convert via listening to other people and using active listing rather than reactive selling. So we can start there. It was a really just packed out day from 9 to 4 of just back to back to back speakers. A lot of value, a lot of information. We can go from there.
Yeah, for sure. So one of the things that we do different here at Scaling Lean is we do a lot of marketing that pre-sells. So when people show up to our sales calls, or we have a sales conversation in the DMs or whatever that looks like, sometimes we make offers directly through email. It takes a lot of the weight off of like the decision, right? It's more of like an invitation and getting people to buy. So the AI sales system really covered that process on the ways that we're framing AI and building a fundamental foundation for our business. So then we can create what we call an AI sidekick to create that marketing material. So posting becomes faster, we can duplicate content more effectively, and we can really build the nurturing processes inside of our ecosystem to build predictable revenue, right? We're all about creating a conveyor belt of leads, not so much getting people in and out, like sold in the 30-day window. Like, yeah, that's great, and we do that. But our system here is built more for longevity and building long-term relationships based on community growth. So it was really awesome to have the storytelling and all of those components that you just mentioned there, Nina, and really help people understand and help them get deeper understanding of who their clients are and exactly the words that they need to say in order to enroll them in the vision of their brand, right? And the movement that they're creating. So I just wanted to frame that up a little, Nina, because people hear AI sales system and they're probably thinking like chatbots and voice agents, which we have deployed and used. But what we believe here at Scaling Lean is AI sales is more the nurturing process and also the pre-framing of our offers to create the conveyor belt of clients that we can just make offers to, and they already know what we're doing. And then it becomes more of an invitation.
Absolutely. And the through line of our event, I know that we were talking a lot about AI sales system and how to leverage AI inside of our ecosystem, but it was really communication and how to continuously meet people where they are and put the buyer decision back into the buyer's hand rather than forcing a sale. That's something that we do brilliantly here at Scaling Lean. And I feel like every single speaker that we had at our live event was very much in alignment with that kind of ideology of we are in a space and time where people want, they know the systems that are going on. Like all systems are basically repeatable at this point. So it's number one, being very relatable to the people that you're speaking to and communicating on their level so they can see exactly who you are, build that trust, know what you're doing so they know that they can trust you coming into the ecosystem to get them the result. And then giving them different options of like buyer pockets so they are not like that you're in or you're out mentality, but you're part of the ecosystem and you can ascend when you're ready. That was really the through line that we're really communicating here at Scaling Lean is it's not an all or nothing mentality. It's like move at your own speed and you are in decision or in you're making the decision of where you want to go with your business at your own time, at your own pace, etc.
Absolutely. One thing that comes to mind too, Nina, is of so many different things. Brian Bogart went really deep into speaking about how folks are using AI to amplify messages that potentially shouldn't be amplified, right? Because it is becoming easier to communicate. And I think the overall vibe of that conversation is, in today's world, I believe there isn't a lot of authenticity, right? And the other thing behind it is, I think it's easy to build a brand that can be somewhat misleading because of all these big guarantees that are out there and kind of a lot of the strategies that have been put out in the last, 3, 5, even 10 years, right? So it's easy to see and identify as we have grown in our journey, like the businesses that are going more for the fast sale with higher guarantees, they're putting a lot of more stress on the sales system, right? And it's in some cases it's based more around manipulation than the purpose of the brand and the movement of the brand. And we're definitely more aligned with the authenticity, as you said there. So I wanted to give a little deeper understanding there. And Brian really nailed it on the head when he was just talking about how you can amplify things in content and messaging that really isn't connected to who you are, what you want, and why you want it. And then it can just lead to a lot of noise in the marketplace, right? And it's really not effective. And it can be effective, but it's not really effective for the long-term growth as you as a human and the long-term growth of you as a brand.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, I think something that came out of that speech specifically, the more conviction you have, the less convincing you have to do. And I feel like that's everything that we're building here at Scaling Lean is that marketing forward that intertwines very beautifully into sales. Is if your marketing is communicating clearly, there's really no need for that hard sell on the back end because people will come in. I'm a firm believer that you can feel energy through a screen. So if you are somebody who's building a brand online, people are going to sniff out if you're a snake oil salesman or if you're authentic authentic as in what you're talking about, you have the skills and expertise and under the hood of what you're trying to sell, right? And there's a lot of that, what he said was noise out there that is just coming out so fast that people are going to be able to weed out the people that are just pumping out content just to pump out content and that people that have conviction in exactly what they're doing and what they're selling.
Absolutely. And I actually just this morning I had a conversation with Marlon. Another big name in the marketing space is going down for another $100 million lawsuit. And it's man, we see this from time to time and it's really unfortunate to see that, but that's not what we want. We want a long-term brand built on tight-knit relationships with our clients. And yeah, we can be profitable and be in margin and all these type of things, right? And not have to have the giant teams in the businesses and Ponzi schemes and stuff that some people can get involved with. Man, it's unfortunate to go down that path. No judgment if that's the path that you're on, but that's not what we're for here. So the second thing that comes to mind, Nina, is when Danny was speaking about his framing around content, right? And his strategies around, just getting more eyeballs on what you're doing. And we've went down the short form video pathway, and some of the stuff that we've created definitely got tons of views, right? And it's very interesting. And it was awesome perspective for the clients and us to see how Danny goes into his strategy, because he's definitely more of a video type of personality, right? Where I feel Nina, you and I are more of kind of writers, and we like just making photos, and both are very, very effective. But whenever you have a different strategy like Danny has, it's great to see like what is he doing, and so we can work some of those strategies into our even written form and our short form ads that are more like B-roll style and stuff like that. So do you have anything that you took away from Danny's interview? Because I know there's a ton of value there as well.
Yeah, so something we saw both Adley live last week. I don't know if anyone knows who that is. She's very big on short form video and going for virality, because then you're going to find a buyer pool that's a little bit bigger, but you'll have like to sort through the weeds. And same thing with Danny. First and foremost, I love Danny's 3H framework. I think that's what it's called, but it's the HHH framework, and it stands for hook, hold, and happiness. And something that I resonated with was like, how do you leave your viewers and or your readers and or your followers off at the end of the post and or video that they're watching? And that has like a lot to do with if people continuously read, continuously follow, etc. It's just a very different strategy than what we believe here at Scaling Lean, and nothing is wrong is how I see it. It's like, I love the fact that here at Scaling Lean we focus on conversion, whereas a lot of these marketing strategies out there, and Adley said it perfectly, is like, we are going for virality, we are not specifically going for conversion, and like we're going for like a larger audience, and then we're going to sort through. And we've been in this space in time where we had the video strategy. We were on TikTok very aggressively, between 3 and 5 videos a day, 3 accounts that were rolling, and then we were messaging every single person that came into our ecosystem. But the conversion rates were very low. So we did really well because the amount of people that we were able to reach out to. But it just brought more conviction into our strategy of like, we are very conversion focused. We're targeting the people that we want to target. We're bringing them into our ecosystem. And it resonates for a lot of, like, for one, Scaling Lean and how we approach copy and how we approach business, but it also resonates with a lot of the clients that we work with. They don't want to be viral sensations. They want to build a business and focus on that secondary of like, client fulfillment is like the most important thing. And they don't want to be on social media 24/7. Different strategies, but at the same time, like I saw the internal battles of a lot of our clients in the room when they were watching this content. They were like, I don't want to be the content person. I want to be the coach. I want to be the community facilitator, etc. And it just kind of created that division of like, you don't have to be, but there is an option if you do want to be. And that's what I really love about the marketing space. There's so many ways to go about marketing. There's not a one size fits all. It's not a, this is the only way how to do it. You can adapt to like what you want, what you need, and what you like and what resonates.
Yeah, absolutely. There's definitely middle ground there too, right? Where, you know, you can have that viral and the conversion focused. One thing that I really comes to mind from Danny that really, really hit home is when you create a video, you want to leave happy. And part of that happiness is like, they should feel like they would spend $20 to watch that piece of content, or that they could potentially earn money back by watching that piece of content. That really hit home, Nina, because like, I feel like with this AI revolution that we're in, people are pumping out content and they don't sometimes even think about like the impact of what it could have on someone's life. And or I know I've been in the space like a few times where, you know, we are able to multiply content very, very effectively now, where I would almost like, I skimmed over my post maybe a bit too quickly. And now it just put me back in the mindset of like, yeah, I definitely need to be spending time and just putting intention into everything that we're creating. So that was a huge takeaway for me personally. I really like how Danny thinks about that. And also, I liked his strategy that he revealed with the bulking strategy. That was also super impactful. Now, there are some folks that like to bulk content. There's other folks that like to create more in the moment. But I think the overall like way he goes about it was just really impactful. And I just really liked it a lot, because it's important that as creators and business owners on social media, we can find a way that will be naturally flowing for us, whether that is bulking or it is more in the moment. But if we're not aware of the different types of ways that we can even create, then it can create friction and not feel natural. I know Annette in particular was like, I don't really love creating talking heads, right? Totally get it. Like, it doesn't feel very natural. So like, what is it that we could be doing in order to find your natural path, right? Maybe it is more written style with photos, or maybe it's just B-roll style, or man, there's so many different ways. Nina, you've seemed to have found when you're creating videos, like your car style videos seem to be like more natural for you. And there's loads of different other things that I've noticed that you do and that you found your mojo with. But I just really like that perspective that he brought into the day, because there are so many different ways to do it, and it's really about just getting consistent and staying as like getting the content out as much as possible, really as free flowing as possible, I should say.
Yeah, I definitely want to loop back because a lot of our clients are like, oh, should I be on different platforms now that there's different styles of content out? We're still firm believers here at Scaling Lean, one platform to scale. So and you have to go all in, learn the algorithm, learn how your content style works, learn how to communicate with the algorithm to get yourself into the flow of things. And solely just because someone says something is working, like every single platform works. And the deeper you go with each of the platforms that you're on, specifically the one platform you're on, the better results you're going to get. We've seen it time and time again. Like when we got onto a new platform as we were expanding our business, numbers and views dropped and conversions dropped because our focus was split. So that's why we really only focus on two platforms as we are growing. It's like we go all in on the content and the style of content that we're committed to, which is like long form written. And now we're doing our daily lives on the platforms that we're pretty relevant on.
Absolutely, 100%.
I think we can wrap it up if you want to take us out, JP.
Yeah, absolutely. So awesome kickoff to the week here. Eric, we didn't really talk about Eric's storytelling, but that was absolutely amazing as well. Just how he thinks about telling stories and creating, what you stand for and what you stand against, because ultimately, if you're not creating haters, you're not creating raving fans as well. So keep that in mind if you're creating any type of written style content. We go deep inside the AI feedback processor on how to really establish what you're for, what you're against, and create that intrigue level to attract people into you, right? It's about leading, it's about being a leader, and the best way to do that is through storytelling. We've proved it time and time again. So yeah, with that being said, thanks for tuning in today. We'll definitely be back tomorrow and the rest of the week with more insight and feedback on what we've learned and what we're deploying inside of the Scaling Lean community. Drop us any questions below this video, and we'll do the best we can to answer your questions. Have a good one.
See you guys.